Hey, good evening, everybody. Here we are again tonight. It's Wednesday, 7:15, for our live talk forum here from Virginia Beach, Virginia, with Lynn Rene MacDonald. I'm just saging here. We're going to sage all of us. This show is about bringing the metaphysical to Earth World, answering your questions, best solutions, best wisdom, guidance from love in the purest form in these times. That's what this show is about. It's every Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. I'm going to give us a few minutes. I'm going to do a introduction. I have my people Jennifer and Ray here. Thank you guys for coming. I have Sophia here in the audience. It's a little early and we're just starting. Thank you, everybody. I see you guys coming up here online here. Thanks for coming. We're doing our Sage tonight's show. We got a lot going on for tonight, but you know, universe is always bringing us more and more in these times because there is so much going on and happening. All right, so tonight we're going to do your questions. I'm going to pull up my notepad here for what we're going to be doing. Thank you, everybody who's coming on here. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I also want to say, if you can donate, this is a show that is done on donation from Higher Knowing. And if you can donate in any way possible, whether it's through our Venmo or our PayPal connections that Rachel usually puts up, or we'll put on our Facebook here. If you can do that, if you can donate through that, fantastic. But also you can donate via, we talk about this all the time, energy. Tell people what we do. This is about what we're about, and that's changing the world from love, or changing the world to a higher vibrational love, being in your heart, however way that needs to happen. This is what we're about, working with God, working with love, working with the universe for your greatest life, your greatest destiny, and everything that has to do with that, which is wisdom. I see everybody coming up. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. And I just want to say thank you, everybody who donates, shares our stuff, however you give and share with us. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys are coming. Super excited. Last week we had 1,100 fucking views. Yay! 1,100. Week before we had over 600. So it must be taken off. Guided by higher knowing. We got to be doing something right? Yeah. All right. So thanks God. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who's coming and who comes here online. And thank you to everybody who comes in our live audience as well. Thank you, Sophia, for being here tonight. Thank you to Jen and Rachel for the great job that you guys do. So can you tell me who's here with us tonight?
We have Nikki, we have Kinsey, Andrea,
hey guys.
Kathy.
Hey.
And right now that's all that I can see, but we have some other people online too. They just haven't said anything.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming. All right, so we got our Sage going. We have a list of what we're going to kind of talk about tonight. And we are going to, as always, answer your questions. Let me see what I have on here for everybody. Okay, so I wanted to say thank you for the donation so I can check that off. That was very important. I want to make sure I always thank you guys because gratefulness is huge, but authentic. Have to be authentic, right? Okay, last week's questions we're going to go over. We're going to go over questions for this week, as well as we're going to talk about helping each other in these times and what we're doing here at our shopping center and guided by higher knowing to help everybody. We're going to talk about that in these times. Also, some other interesting ways that we discovered that we're helping people as well in these times, like when they can't make their car payments or they're having problems with their utility bills or their rent. Universe has guided us to different solutions for that as well, and we're going to share that story too, which is going to be really cool. All right, so we got those things to talk about. I just want to make sure that we cover this, and what's cool is it all ties into the astrology. It really does. It ties into what is happening in the stars with the donations and things like that, with Neptune being, conjunct the moon in the transit, right? So this is bringing us to a higher space of unconditional love, and with that you'll find that you'll be donating more in these times during this transit period, which is really, really cool. So you'll be giving more, you'll be more compassionate overall. But the cool thing about this, where Neptune with this conjunction with the moon, because the moon is about security and it's about doing the right thing as well. The opposite side of that is Capricorn. They are sister signs. Because of that, you'll be more inclined to always do the right thing with your giving. So you won't allow other people people to walk all over you, right? It's kind of like you give to people and they take and they take and they take, right? But in this particular case, the energy of the transit of Neptune conjunct the moon will not be allowing that. So while you have a really big heart, you'll know when somebody's trying to take advantage of you or trying to pull the wool over your eyes or not being sincere or authentic. Really, really important stuff for these times. But this is also to know what we're going through in these times, and why, this is coming up for donating and helping people across the board, just every day with the food and with the situations that are going on, because so much is going on here with the darkness out here in the earth world that it's toxic, and we all know this. So that said, I'm going to move on from here, but I wanted to share that with you to show you the connection between the astrology, and you can look this up and you can read about it, which is really cool. And then you understand why, you're doing the things that you're doing, in your life, like to help other people with this unconditional love that we're all going through, this really incredible energy phase of it in the stars and in what you call the transit astrology, the now, the energy that affects us in the now, that is all that is God, that is what you call the stars astrology, okay? What I call God astrology. All right, that said, I'm going to move on to the next thing. So we're talking about that. And also this week I went to the dentist with one of my daughters. Crazy experience. I want to share with you what is coming in about the next thing that a lot of people might not know about the medical field and going to the dentist, because we all go to the dentist. We all go to the doctors. So universe has bought this experience, just like last week with the debt collectors or the attorney fees and garnishments. We talked about that last week. So everything that is happening in my life are variations of what's happening out here across the board in the collective, because it's all guided by the stars or love energy and all that is God, meaning what happens in astrology is the catalyst to the energy that creates and moves these things into manifestation with our souls. Really neat shit. All right. That said, we're going to talk about doctors. We're going to talk about dental stuff and what's really going on, because this is the medical field, what's really going on across the board, so that everybody can see, through our experience that we just went through, because that's how universe does things, especially as of late with us. But our whole life is about learning. There's nothing like earth world schooling, right? We live it, we get it. Truth be told, right? Okay. That said, hi Molly.
Hello.
Thanks for coming, girl. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see. So we're going to be doing that, and I think that covers everything, along with our questions and our usual things that come up with God, love, energy, for whatever it is that we need to talk about here tonight. Guidance, wisdom, tools for each one of us on an individual level with your questions and questions from last night, or last week rather, okay? All right, so thank you everybody for coming. I'm stoked to have a great show, and thank you God for that for us. God's honest truth, all the best wisdom, gifts, tools, energy, health, free of any toxic and unwell, and the best things happening for tonight. Everything we need from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, for the best show, the best time we are together here tonight and always. And thank you, God, or love, and love for that for us. All right. That said, we're going to move to tonight. I want to make sure we get to last week's questions, so we're going to start with those first. Okay, Rachel and Jen, what do we got from last week? Please. And thanks.
We have a few from last week, but I don't think those people are on just yet.
Okay, so Rachel's saying we have a few from last week, but the people whose questions they're not on just yet, so we're going to hold off on that. Excuse me.
We have questions for tonight already.
Huh?
We have questions for tonight.
Okay. All right, so Rachel says we do have questions from tonight, so we're going to start with those. Shoot, go ahead. What do we got?
Kinsey.
All right. Hey, Kinsey, long time no see. I feel like I haven't seen you here, girl. So it's good to see you. Good to see you. Or know you're here, girl. All right.
She's asking if there's anything for her best friends. They're twins, and they just lost their dad a few months ago, and she's trying to bring them some healing.
Okay. Anything for her best friends?
Yep. They're twins.
Okay. So who's best friends? Kinsey's best friends? And,
I believe so.
And she has two friends that are twins, that she's asking, is there anything for their healing, and they just lost their dad?
A few months ago, yes.
A few months ago. So they're relative to Kinsey's age, I'm assuming?
I would assume so, but I'm not positive.
All right.
Sorry. Want their names? I think they're.
Oh, does she have their names?
Brittany Winslow and Tiffany Manning. I'm assuming, because she references them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, God, what's the best thing for Kinsey's friends, Brittany and Tiffany, right now, the best guidance, wisdom, gifts, tools. And this is 2 months ago?
A few months ago, she said.
All right. All right. So, and with all of this, with their father passing away, does she have the father's name? By any chance?
I'll let you know if she types it in.
All right. All right. What's the God's honest truth? Best messages, wisdom, everything we need here for the best healing, gifts, tools from love energy for everybody involved in this. All right. Thank you, God, for that for us. The first thing they're telling me is, Kinsey, didn't you talk to them? Because you're a master medium. In other words, you have super, super incredible medium gifts from lifetimes that are in you. I think we've talked about this, right? So they're basically guiding me and saying, you can do this work yourself. And they're guiding me to share that with you, Kinsey. So you know, I know you know that. All right. But it's important to hear that sometimes. So that's why it's being said. That said...
Oh, Brittany, her friend is on, actually, and the dad's name is Timmy Winslow.
All right. All right. Thanks, God, for this for us. All right. That's cool. So Jennifer is saying that some of Kinsey's friends are here tonight. Okay. So I feel like you have been instructing them or guiding your friends. And I feel like the father's been around you, too. And if he hasn't come in a dream already, Kinsey, he's coming to speak with you. All right. Let me just see here. All right, the father is he hasn't left, all right? He's all around you guys still. There's a lot of healing that has to happen first. So this is like this is a really big trauma. In other words, what is words? Yeah, there's a lot of emotional pain and suffering wrapped up in this. So he's around you guys all the time, meaning the twins. He is around them. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen, but there's also he's telling me a lot of good times. There's a lot of good times that he loves these girls immensely. There is no measurement for the amount of love that he has for these two girls, Tiffany and what is the other one? Brittany. Yeah. You come from a family of all old world souls. Very, very strong hearts, really truth and love. And your dad was one of these people, in his heart. He strived to do the good thing, the good things, in other words, or the best thing always. He had this like Capricorn energy in him, where he would find in his heart what the right thing to do is, right? And always be governed by that. And he did his best, and this is what he's telling me. He did his best to guide you guys, but there are times when there were deficits. There absolutely is, but this is all part of our journey in this lifetime. I do feel like he's around you. I do feel like he's not leaving at any time soon. Let me just see, is there anything else that comes in? There's something about a fence, all right? So he's telling me some things that are coming in. There's something about a fence that comes in on the property, and I feel like it's a short fence. It's not really a big fence. There's something about a fence that he's showing me. He's showing me grass. He's showing me like a driveway with two, what do you call it? Two car tracks. Like it's not a paved driveway, and it's like there's grass and dirt and stones, but it feels like there's dirt, like the two main car tracks, like old-fashioned driveways that weren't paved. This is what he's showing me. There's some strong connection to this for you guys. He's telling me that you will know. You will definitely know. All right. He's telling me also that he is a blue jeans kind of guy. He's a meat and potatoes man. He's of old world beliefs. So this is one of the reasons why he couldn't stay here. He couldn't stay here. Let me just see what else is coming in. Also, he's telling me loves you guys massively, and there's something about rainbows. One of you girls, he's telling me both of you girls like rainbows, but there's one of you that is really, really strong in reference to rainbows, like loves rainbows, okay? So also look for these things. Look for these things in your dreams. Look for these things in your reality, because it's him sending these things to you guys, okay? Let me see what else what else is coming in for you. Okay. You and your dad has what's going on?
Kinsey, she just wrote, OMG, shut the front door. So I guess you're spot on.
Oh, good. Good. That's always great to hear. So thank you, Kinsey. Thank you. Right. It's always good that you make that connection. And I'm looking out the window and there's really tall trees out here too, which is interesting. And I'm looking outside and the sign out here is for Yorktown Commerce Center, which is where the shopping center here where we are is. And what's wild about this is they're telling me at the same time that you all really, really old souls. This is a family that is old souls. So all you guys are high-end spiritual, high-end gifted, and that's why you know and love so hard. But that's why also that this is in your hearts so hard emotionally. Right? It sucks to lose our parents in our people spaces. There's no doubt about it. And when we love really hard and really, really powerfully, souls like us, it can be super painful and challenging, especially with attachments like we kind of have in Earth World. But also, this is about lifetimes. There is a bond here with you guys, with your dad and with your family. Family super important to you guys for lifetimes. There's a whole family energy here. Your dad is like a matriarch. He's a solid guy. He was really solid for you. This comes into woods and forests and tall trees, comes in like pine trees all around. I feel like your dad was really connected to nature and the earth. I do feel like that. Woods is coming in for you guys and him as well. Did he take you on walks in the woods? Did you guys go hiking? I feel like something like this happened when you were little, when you were really small. What?
Two things.
Okay.
Kinsey said that the day that he passed away, she sent the twins a video of a rainbow.
Okay.
And Brittany,
cool.
the one twin, said that her house has a small fence, unpaved driveway, and tall trees around it.
Oh my God. See, great. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for validating. Super appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome. So he's showing me all these things. The angels are showing me all of these things and you guys are validating it. Thank you. Thank you, because then this also lets people know that this shit isn't full of shit, that it's real, that what we do is real, you know what I mean? That is everything, right? Truth is everything. Truth is wisdom, truth is love. And thank you guys, thanks. Okay, can you ask them if they have any questions that they want to know? If you guys have any questions that you want to know or you want to ask him. Something about baseball cap. And something about hair coming through the baseball cap, like disheveled, almost like disheveled hair. They're showing me brown hair in this particular case. So this is connecting to this, showing me a visual. All right. Now this can be many different things. I do feel like it's him. Does he have a brother? Because I feel like this connects him, either him with his brother and him in some way, shape, or form to his youth. Look for these pictures and photographs as well. This is coming in a lot of times when we do medium work like this, and we get images and things that people don't understand or see or know about. The universe will guide me to like a box or a photo album, and then you can flip through it and you'll find so many things that will connect to everything we're saying here. Okay.
Two things. Kinsey and Brittany both said that he coached them in softball for several years, and he does have a brother.
Okay. Yeah, so great. They're validating all that. Thank you. All right. And thank you, God. Thank you, universe, right? Okay, so that said, I just want to see... There's some important things that he's saying to me that he wants you guys to know. And the biggest things is he wants you guys to know, all three of us, even though Kinsey isn't even in this family. It's not a negative thing. It's isn't in the family. All right. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional here. Okay. He's telling me, and this is really important, he wants you guys to know that you're stars and the sky is the limit for you girls, and he wants you to live your greatest life and be in your greatest space and make your dreams happen. And there's nothing more that he wants for you guys than this, from his love for you. And that's what he's telling me. All right, I'm sorry I'm getting all crazy emotional. What I'm doing basically is channeling his feelings about it in here. Just to let everybody know why a lot of times this happens. And being an empath, brings these gifts to us, okay? Whatever level of empath and wherever you are, all right? It's all about your spiritual soul and your journey. When I say level of empath, meaning the vibration of love energy that you're in, all right? That's all part of your spiritual gifts. People think, oh, I'm an empath and I feel people's feelings and it's bad and so much other garbage is attached to it. But when you're in a healthy space of God or love, it's a wonderful, amazing gift. And this is what happens so often, because I connect to people's emotions, to their heart. Everything that is creation, that is God, is all about emotion. Everything is emotion. And this is about what we're talking about here. It's all about love. Okay. So he's coming through and he's saying this to you guys, and he knows that you're going to make your dreams happen, and he wants you to do that. And he's behind you 110%. He says to me, he's going to be visiting you on and off all the time. He's never going to stop loving you. Never. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that they want to know or that comes in from him? Oh, he's telling me thank you. He's saying thank you. He's saying I love you girls so much. All right. Thanks, God. Did you take away my box of tissues, Jennifer?
Rachel
I'm
gave
like,
it to
I need
me.
my tissues.
Rachel gave it to me.
Jennifer.
All right, so apparently I need my tissues for my eyes here, so Jennifer's going to go find a new box. I believe we have some somewhere, right? Okay, that said, if there's anything else you want to know, again, you can still ask throughout the show. Thank you so much.
They're saying
I know
thank you, Lynn.
Thank you guys. I'm sorry I'm like crying. And clear that out of me because I don't really feel I should be sorry. I feel like this is just some of the stuff that happens as a person. You know, we feel strange about our emotions and we're not comfortable about sharing them. And this is for me too. You know, that's why I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm crying. You know, so clear this out, God, and let me have the healthiest space of our emotions with all of this, and in ourselves with everything. And thank you, God, for these gifts for all of us now, please, from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And anything else that feels bad about crying or having emotions or being so open with our emotions, clear that out of us. And thank you now, please, for this. And let us have the healthiest, best way to be from love with all of this. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay? And thank you. All right. So thank you, Kinsey, and thank you, Tiffany, and one more girl.
Brittany. And
Brittany.
she also just said thank you. She said she's been struggling and missing him so much lately, and this helped her a lot.
Yes, and also, so you guys know, he is going to be coming to you in dreams, okay? And one person may get a dream, another person may get a dream. I feel like you will also get messages from Kinsey with all of this, definitely, for sure. And the cool thing is you'll be able to share this. And those dreams are very much like when I had one particular dream that knocked my socks off with my father. I think I've talked about this. It was one of the most incredible dreams of my whole entire life, because I had wanted him to come and see me, and I felt like he couldn't see me, but you have to heal to a certain well-being space, and so does his soul. It's a whole process, right? Heal meaning, you know, release, and the key factor here is time. That's why they say time heals everything, because it allows our souls to work through this process. Really fascinating stuff. So he will be coming to you. He will be coming to you in dreams, all of you guys. There will be messages there, but you also get to hug him like you didn't get to, or like that, you know how when we're human, we just want one more hug, one more day, one more moment. And I'm getting all emotional again, right? With our dads, and I totally get that, and I just remember wanting so much more time with him. But this will come for you guys, believe it or not, and it will happen in your dreams, and it will be so real, just as real as, you know, everyday life, like when you can touch things here in Earth World. So it's going to be an incredible experience and super healing for all of you, and I feel it's coming. Okay, so I just want to share that with you, and if you want that, ask love for that, ask God for that. Okay, and your dad's all excited about it, you know, but again, time heals everything. Why? Because we processed and we grow and we release emotionally, and we assess, and there's a whole entire way that happens in the human soul, right? Or in the soul, in the human soul in Earth World, all right, that is why this saying is truth in Earth World, because it's a whole entire process. Fascinating stuff for all of us when we lose people. You know, same thing. I just had somebody this week who lost like the love of their life, and it was really rough time. We had an appointment, and she was saying to me, hold on a minute, I'm having a runny nose issue here. Thank you. All right. She was saying to me, let me just bring myself back to that space, how she lost her husband. And, I see so many people for medium work all the time. And this is some of the most incredible healing stuff, just to let you guys know. And we all go through this. We all go through this process when people die and people we love go through this. So, but we'll all go through it. And this is why this work is so important. This is why I say to you, Kinsey, definitely tap into your gifts, Kinsey, because this is going to help you into the future. And this is a really big avenue for you. 53 to 57 to 63, 68% of your gifts, your spiritual gifts. So much of this at any given time is this, helping people to heal through medium work, and people have crossed over because people don't understand this, and it's hard. It's hard because we're all emotionally wrapped up in it and strung out in it, and people come to me just like that one client I had this week all the time, because they have questions that they feel can't be answered. They have more stuff that comes in that they don't understand and they want to know. And really, this is some incredible work, and it's super healing, and it's amazing. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to be part of this. And thank you to Kinsey and all you guys for sharing and being part of this, because this is super important to share with the world. So thanks. All right. Okay. So what else we got for next?
So we actually have a question from a couple weeks ago. Gabriella Kenny.
Okay.
She's here again. And she wanted to know if she's on the right path. And I have her birthday as October 1st, 2001.
All right. Okay, Gabriella Kinney, thanks for coming. All right, thanks for your question. And her question was from prior weeks?
Yes.
And so we're answering a past week question?
Yes.
Okay. Do you go by Gabby? Does she? All right, so she's on here tonight?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. All right, because I want to call you Gabby. All right. So that said, her question is she on the right path? And this is a really great question, because the truth is we are always on the right path, even when we think we are not. Our soul guides us and leads us, and even when we go on strayed paths, or what we think is a strayed path, or we veer off our main soul direction, like beeline course of what's set in stone as our destiny that we agreed to upon when we came in here with God, right? Or universe or love, when we first came into Earth World, this was our path, this is what we set up, and this is hardcore set in stone. But with free will, you can go in any and all directions. But know this, your soul is a genius, and it is going exactly where it needs to go from love all the time. It is super, super wise, super intelligent, super gifted. It is. So everybody in the whole world is a genius. So just like when the New World Order thinks that we're fucking stupid people, God is all your genius. It's your heart. It's your heart. It's your God connection. So you are all geniuses, no matter what these fucking intellectual idiots think over here. Toxic darkness, right? Okay. That said, know this. We all have a life path. We veer off in different directions, but it's all guided by the genius of our souls. Again, the genius of our souls. So if we think we're being stupid, and like for years I worked a whole bunch of different jobs, but right, I think I worked as a waitress or cocktail waitress in a go-go bar for a few years, and then I think I drove a cab for like a week, right? But this was me figuring out where I need to be, where I need to go when I was younger. I worked in a supermarket for 9 years as a cashier, right? So I did all these different jobs that are, that are crazy, meaning just all over the map, right? But what it behooves me to know, and everybody to know, is this is where my soul needed to go. This is all part of my learning and my journey. So I'm always on the right path. I needed to learn what it was like to be a taxi driver for a day, or to sell meat in the back of one of those trucks that knocks on your door, right? I did that for like 2 days, right? And then I worked in a supermarket for 9 years. And so there's all these different things that teach us who we are, what we don't like, what is for us, what we're into, what we're not into, right? How to communicate with different people in different ways, in different places. So your soul, no matter how crazy, like I could say, wow, Lynn, you drove a taxi. I mean, that's dangerous, or people can judge me and say, oh my God, I can't believe you did this, or you worked over here, or you did this, right? So, but the truth of God is we've all done everything and been everything for fucking lifetimes. And there's nothing bad or toxic about it. That's about judgment. That's about your own toxic. That's about you not feeling good about you. Who gives a fuck what anybody else says? Your soul knows exactly what the fuck it's doing all the time. All the time. So when I do this, I'm learning so many amazing things. Maybe I'm learning the roads in my neighborhood by being a taxi driver. Maybe I'm learning that I don't want to be working late at night all by myself as a girl, right? Or as a woman, right? Maybe I'm learning about that. I'm learning about safety. I'm learning about how this business works and how people in this business work. I'm like, the TV show Taxi from way back in the day, totally different world when it's real world stuff. Right? And I'm learning all these things, and through each avenue of whatever it is that I'm doing. And then I decided I wanted to go to art college, and I got a 4-year degree in art college. And not that that makes any difference. That was what was important to me for my self-worth and my feeling good about me intellectually and spiritually, meaning on the path that I'm in all ways, right? I needed that for my self-esteem, to go and get a degree from a quality school and, learn my craft and learn a craft. And this is what my soul needed, and it had enough of doing this and doing that, but this is all part of that journey from my youth to present day now that led me down these paths, and every single thing led me right here to now. And my soul is genius. There is no better way that it could have done this, and this is what's happening for you. To let you know, you are on the right path, you are on the right destiny. Everything you're doing, all of us, is all about the grand design of what wisdom, gifts, tools on all different levels of God that we need to know about, both in earth world, for our own safety, for our own wisdom. Do I make enough money over here? Is this enough money? How do I value this? How do I value myself? What is the worth of this? What does it feel like to do this? What does it feel like to be this? Do you see? And your soul is working this out. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Do I need this? Do I need that? What exactly is my soul up to? Because this journey that your soul takes you on tells you everything. So a good way to see if you're on the right path is to sit down and look at what you've done throughout your life and see all the things that you've learned from that. From everything from your childhood to present day now, because there are no accidents. There is no such thing as an accident. Everything is part of the grand design, and your soul picks and chooses everything it needs along the way and manifests it in your reality. So you are on the right path. If you have any specificer, or you like that word? That's a new word. I just invented it.
I like
Specificer.
that.
If you have any more specific, right, stuff that you want to know about this is the proper way to say it, but in Lynn world, it's specificer. So a more specific way to say it, or things that you want to know about, in reference to this, please ask, okay? Anything from her, Rachel?
Not that I've seen, no.
Okay. Oh, my nose is runny today. We're going through like a Mercury retrograde, so I'm having some crazy symptoms health-wise, right? Because what happens with Mercury retrograde? It repeats itself. How are you going to handle this? Do you remember when you were sick, or your immune system was down and you got a cold, and how did you handle that, right? With everything that we've been going through in our lives, now we're in a Mercury retrograde period, so you will get colds and sicknesses reoccurring, right? To see how you want to deal with them, let's say, differently than you dealt with them in the past, okay? So my nose is a little runny today. I know what I'm going to do. I'm asking universe for what salt for that. And they're telling me, for me right now, it's number 5. Number's 5, homeopathic salt. All right. So that said, this should help me to be free of my runny nose stuff right now. Thank you, God, for that for me. Okay. That said, you said she didn't have anything, Rachel?
Not that I saw.
Okay. All right. Alrighty, so, all right, what's our next question?
We have Amanda Parr.
Okay.
She
Hi,
is
Amanda.
asking another medium question. She would like to know about her former partner / fiance who passed away on November 1st, 2021, and also about her father, Tom Parr.
Okay. Is this from this week?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to lose my space here with this. Okay, so can you write for me? Are you busy? not that you're just in a live show. Are you busy? Would you mind writing that for me, please? Right? Are you busy? Oh, crazy stuff, right?
Oh, well, she's writing. Donnie Leatherman Ball said, "You're so beautiful. I absolutely love watching these."
Oh, God bless. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
And the Hans are on. Eva asked a question.
Oh, Eva. Hey, girl. I hope you're feeling awesome. All right. Hey, Eric. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to lose my stuff too that I want to talk about. Yeah, just write who they are, please, their full names. If they got the birth date, great. Thanks God for us tapping into all of this for everybody, for the best gifts, tools, wisdoms, love, energy, magic, healing. This is Amanda, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Amanda and everybody involved here with this, from love in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you God for that for us. Okay.
Okay, I'm waiting on the fiance's name,
Okay.
but I have the dad's name on here.
Okay, so Amanda lost her dad and her fiance, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's a rough road, girl. Rough road. And we're all going through it. So I totally feel for you. You know, like my kids say to me, you know, a lot of times they're like, when is this going to stop? Well, life doesn't stop, right? So there will be challenges. It's how you deal with them and work with love, universe, God, that will guide you to all the best ways from love to handle everything. And this includes losses like these, because our most powerful connections, more often than not, in Earth world are the closest people to us that we love, you know, and it's, and being human brings us to these spaces for all of us. Okay, so we're going to do some more medium work here. Medium. Clear out anything that blocks us from connecting to these people in the best way. Did we have her fiance's name yet?
No, I'm waiting for it.
Okay, so her father is Tom Parr. All right, Tom. His name, Tom. He's an old world soul. He's around you, Amanda, all the time. Absolutely. Anything from Tom for Amanda? Basically, universe, the angels, and him are telling me another driveway like the last one we spoke of, you know, a driveway with like 2 tire tracks, not paved, grass and stones and dirt, not a full driveway. So this comes in with him. All right. Also, he's telling me about a fence. I'm drawing this as we're going along here. A fence. And he's also telling me about blue skies. He wants you to know that there's nothing but blue skies where he is. And this, he says, you will know what he's talking about. I don't know if you guys went and looked at the sky, or he would say something like, you know, the sky is so blue today, and that he loved blue skies, but he's telling me nothing but blue skies. He's telling me to tell you this. This is him telling me, or sharing with you, that you are... the blue skies, that he's fine. He's just totally fine. He's in a really good space, and this is super important for you to know. He says, because you think about him a lot and you worry too much. He's saying you worry about so much of everything in your life, and that's Mercury. Mercury, the planet Mercury, we were talking about that today, just does not give you a break. It is a powerful little planet, and it's not little at all. It is the way that you think. It is the way that you speak. It's the way that you listen. You know, so this is a really powerful planet. So this all connects into this, because he's telling me, and you're thinking anxiety, stress. He's telling me you worry way too much. And he's telling me it's blue skies. And he wants you to know that it's blue skies for him. And he says you will be able to connect to that and connect to these things here in Earth World. And he's also telling me, if not today, it will come to you another day. He's also telling me for you about balloons, but the interesting thing that is about these balloons is their primary color balloons, like red, blue, and yellow. Okay, red, blue, and yellow balloons are coming in. So this is for you to note and log. I don't know if you have a party or a children's party or somewhere that you went recently that those balloons are there. And this is him telling you that he is there. He's with you. He knows what's going on. All right. But also I feel that he is going to use these where you go other places into the future. These red, blue, and yellow primary color balloons. He's sharing with me primary color balloons. This is all for you. Like if you see these things in the future, if you see this in the future, you know, like in your dreams or in the sky, or you go to a party or an event, or they could be outside of like a grand opening that you see, right? He's telling me this because these things are for you. Okay. These things are definitely for you. He's telling me he loves you very much. And he too always tried to do the right thing for you. There's a really strong father-daughter connection here. Absolutely. And again, old world soul, Thomas, you know, names like Thomas, very old Celtic earth world names. There is a family history. In other words, your family history, your DNA, your, what you would call this energetic line with God or universe is really long, very old souls, and very, very powerful. Okay. So let me just see what else comes in here. For Dad, he's telling me about belts. Did he always wear a belt? Okay, because he's showing me a waist. It's a thick leather belt, but he's telling me about belts. Okay, and it could go to do two different things, you know, in terms of him wearing a belt as well. I feel is like the strongest thing in reference to this, but it's something about belts for you, maybe you wearing a belt, but belts are coming in. But there is a brown belt, and he's showing me like his waist and like a pair of blue jeans that are holding up, or pants that are being held up by this belt. Okay, that said, did she give you the name yet, or no?
For the fiance?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's Mike Schindler, and his birthday was July 31st, 1960.
Okay. Okay, July 31st. So your fiance, 23rd to the 30th, the 7th, 8th. So your fiance is basically a Leo Cancer. All right, so he's a Leo in his sun sign, but he has like 23 to 27% Cancer here, or your fiance, his name is Michael Schindler, correct? All right, and July 31st. Okay, so yeah, so he does have some charming attributes about him when I look at him and I look at the Leo stuff, and I can definitely see this. All right, so this is a man who has a lot of charm and charisma, but he's also very much, he has in other words, he's Leo, but the 23 to 27% is the Cancer energy. If I hope I said that right, because he's got Cancer energy. So this is a man who really is about family. Family is very important to him. His relationship, making his own family, and this is what he's telling me. He loves you very much. He's telling me he always loved you, even when you doubted him. All right. And the 23 to 27% is the Cancer energy. So I apologize if I said it was Leo energy, but his Leo sign, his Leo energy is the governing energy in him. So he comes in as being good looking, right? As well as charming and charismatic, and he's a good leader. He could be a little bit like a baby, you know what I mean? Sometimes he would be like a baby, or like the victim kind of thing, you know, and that's a lion thing as well. That's a Leo characteristic. But across the board, he comes in, and, you know, so what is happening here is universe is showing me with the stars who he is, as well as he is showing me who he is. His relationship with you through the stars. So this is through this Cancer energy, but also through the Leo energy. He likes things. He did like things to be about himself, and I feel that you took care of him, and you did a great job. Huh?
She said that he was very good looking.
Yes, that's Leo. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, you know, and then on top of that, they could be charming and charismatic. You know, a really good example of showing somebody from way back in the day would be Barack Obama and how he works the crowd. Right, it's warm and soothing and charismatic, and all that Leo energy is definitely in him. Regardless of whether you like him or not, you can see this energy in him. And this does not mean that Michael was like this. That's not what I'm saying, but it does mean that this energy is something that he had for himself, an energy like that, right? Of course, it's unique to the individual, okay? All right. That said, yeah, good looking. I mean, yeah, it's lovely to be attracted to somebody, and they're beautiful to look at. Absolutely. He's telling me that you're not so bad looking yourself, which is lovely. Of course, though, what you are is what you attract, right? Let me just see what else he has to say here. Huh. All right, clear this out, God, because there's some things that he's telling me that are coming in that we're tapping into with him. And he is saying he wanted more time with you. I do feel there's a soul pact here that you guys are going to be together in the future, right? Way into the future, meaning in future lifetimes. So I do feel he left early. Obviously, I feel because of the fiance thing, you know, that tells me you didn't solidify something that you both wanted in Earth World, to be married and to have that type of Earth World connection through marriage in a partnership. So he is telling me that there is a soul pact. Him and the angels are telling me that there is a soul pact between you guys. It's a karmic agreement. So this to be together again in the future, because I do feel like the things that you dreamed about, the things that you wanted, the life that you had, you know, verbally shared, and the life that you shared while you were together and wanted to create, didn't fully come to fruition. I feel that both of your souls have called in the karma for it to come back. In other words, so in another lifetime, you will fulfill the rest of this karmic agreement between you as a partner. And you may choose to get married again and go down this route, but it feels like you will have more time together. The time is the gift that your souls agreed to upon with each other, do you say? And this is what him and the angels are telling me, and he wants these things. It's strange because when he's here, he's kind of like walking away from me. He's a bit aloof at times. He's a bit aloof with his energy. And I feel like this is him conveying to me also how he was in this reality. There were times when he could be like this. They're also telling me, and he's telling me, that he was a really brilliant man, really, really smart, smart as fuck, you know. They're telling me that. I'm just asking, you know, why he's walking away. Let me know if you connect with that, Amanda, this aloofness that he's showing, but also that also can also be an attribute that is also incorporated with Leo energy as well. Let me just see what else for him. This is interesting. When I ask what else for him, they're showing me tires, like wheels, and the wheels are turning, and there's tires, like car tires, and then there's smaller tires, okay? This is strange, you know? I'm sitting here like, what is that? Is it car tires? What is going on? So connecting to this visual, and I almost feel like he's wheeling the tires, so there's something going on with car tires, but there's also like smaller tires, like almost like a golf cart kind of tire, a golf cart, or, you know, something along those lines. That he's showing me his back again. His back. He has his back to me, and he's leaning over. So he's showing me these visions that are for him to connect with you, to connect to things in his life. There are both for you, for sharing, for you to understand this, as well as for understanding for his family, for anybody you want to share this with. Also, the color red comes in a red car. So this also is connected to him, and I feel like it's almost like a sports car again. These red cars come in a lot, but it makes sense though, because, you know, you'll have similar variations of people who have similar variations to your energy, so they will have different things that will be different, but they'll be very much the same, like baseball caps and blue jeans and old world food and red cars, but there'll always be unique stuff within that is particular to the person to share. What?
He drove tractor trucks and 4-wheelers and worked out a lot.
So there's the trucks and the tires. So that makes total sense. So thanks for sharing. Oh, thank you, Rachel.
Not worked out a lot. Worked a lot.
Worked a lot. Okay. Because it's funny though. When you said that, I'm like, he worked out? I'm like, yeah. But you know what's funny about that? Working out in old world ways would be, moving the tires. He was physically active, very much like my dad. He was a carpenter, so he was physically active. And that really was the old world way of working out, if you think about it. You worked your ass off and you were in great physical shape, especially if you did physical movement, all day long, being a carpenter or a landscaper or a tree climber or like you said, with the cars and tractors and things like that. Yeah, very old world man. Yeah, and his energy feels really good, but he's kind of like over here, like he's away from you, which is interesting, or he's like away from me. I feel like there's a shyness quality about him as well. Like he's not comfortable like sharing his personal shit. Like if you talked about like really personal stuff, and this is why this is coming in, he would not be comfortable around other people talking about it or anybody hearing him. It's kind of neat. So this gives you some more intricate things about his personality to connect to know that for sure it's him. But this too, which we really need, is a unique Leo trait as well, which is really cool. And it shares with everybody how astrology truly works, how you can connect it to so many different people. And but yet you can see the uniqueness, but you can connect it to the stars, which is really cool. And it lets you see this in real life, in real time, in Earth world. Really cool stuff. Okay, that said, is there anything that you want to know? Of course, as I would always say, these guys really do love you, and they love you a lot, both of them. Both of them. Very old world souls. Super gifted. Yeah, and there's another message for you here, Amanda. They're saying you have a new destiny now, and go for it and live your dreams. A new destiny. And everything you want will be yours from love, as long as your heart is in the right place and you go with it. And they're telling me not to get bogged up in the emotional bullshit. You know what I mean? That goes on in your heart, in your soul. Give yourself time to heal. Give yourself time to work through it. Work with love. Ask to be free of it. Ask to grieve when it is time to grieve, and when it is healthiest and best for you, and in the healthiest and best times. Because these are some of the greatest tools you can give yourself. Otherwise, a lot of times we get in these spaces where we cry, or we can't let go of these people that we lose for days, and or we're miserable on and off. So these are some great tools for you, Amanda, but for all of us. There are times when I'll be driving down the road and something will remind me of my dad. And my dad, what year did he pass away? 2003. And my dad was the fucking bee's knees to me, right? He passed away in 2003. And even now I'll be driving down the road and something will remind me of him, or I see something and I know that he's there and I start bawling my fucking eyes out. I'm like, ah! Right? Because that's really how it is. But it's okay. We always have these pockets of emotion and feeling, and they're around us all the time. Know that. So when you guys see these things that remind you of people that you love, oh, my dad, that reminds me of my dad, or that means they're around you. Sometimes I literally see my father next to me in the front seat, or he comes to me in dreams, or I see things that remind me of him, or I'll get a smell and I'll be like, oh, that's my dad. You know what I mean? Like I'll smell something that reminds me of him. You see, sometimes with people say, oh, their traditional, stuff that people say, oh, it's tobacco smoke, or it's this, or cigarette smoke, right? Or cologne, a particular cologne that they wear. And sometimes those things will happen, but every person has a particular smell, right? And I remember when, just like when my grandmother passed away, years ago, I would go into her room, right? And this is when I was younger, right? I would go into her room and I would smell her pillow, and I could smell my grandma on that pillow. And it's just incredible, just the magic things that God and love guide us to help us to heal, because that's what it's all about. And it's to let them know and let us know that they're around us all the time. Yeah. Just got to believe and see and ask for these gifts if you can. Ask that you do if you don't, and ask love to guide you. Thanks, love, for that for me. Okay, so I hope you're happy with these answers, Amanda. And if you have anything else that you want to ask, please do. Okay? All right, Rachel, anything she has left?
She does. I believe, so she's asking a few different things.
Yeah.
She is saying that she left him because of some things that went down with an ex-girlfriend, and she's wondering if that was the right thing that she did in leaving him, and if she said if she would have stayed, would he have lived?
No. No, that... Let me just see. What's the God's honest truth here? He would not have lived. This was the destiny that he was chosen. I do feel like your soul did this deliberately to save you from more hurt. Leos tend to get involved with a whole bunch of bullshit. They can be very dramatic and have many, many affairs. It's the 5th house in astrology, right? So they can do all kinds of crazy affairs and crazy shit. So I do feel like your soul saved you from this grief and this toxic, but everything that we spoke of still stands. There is that connection, and you did this from a self-love place for you. Basically, your soul saved yourself from a lot of grief and heartache that would have been a lot more toxic, believe it or not. So your soul is super wise. So they're just like we talked about the soul's path and the soul's mission and how your soul knows exactly what it's doing and how it's a genius. This is the same thing. You may veer off in these avenues in your life. And so this makes total sense to me. But and that is also, now this really connects, because this is also why he has his back to me. All right. He keeps showing me his back, him with the tires, right? Him with being aloof. It's because he doesn't really feel super great about what he did. Because I'm like, why is that, God? And now you tell me this, and it all connects like a puzzle piece. Incredible stuff. Yeah. Super incredible. Yeah, but that's Leo. The love of my life, one of the love of my life in this lifetime, right? One of my best loves. They were all fucking fire signs, most of them, right? There's a few in there that's earth and water, right? And variations of that, right? But going back to this, all right. I have basically there's a similar story. The love of my life. It's a variation of the same thing. And the funniest fucking shit is he's a Leo too. He's a Leo too. And to this day, 20 years later, or how many years later, he's still doing the same fucking shit. And that is the destiny you saved yourself from. And he's not happy about that within himself, but that's work for him to do in the future. Because I'm like, why won't he look at me in the face? Crazy shit, right? Because he knows that he didn't really do the right thing. So you're right on. You left, you did the right thing for you, but it doesn't mean that there is not a soul karmic connection that you guys have, and all the stuff that I told you was not the truth. And you know that. I don't even have to tell you that. However, I'm being guided too, so that everybody can make the connections here and understand that. Okay. And that's incredible, because I kept saying to myself internally, I'm like, why is he doing that, God? Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Everything he shows me, his back is turned, he's twisted. He's not really showing me his face, so he's not being accountable for his actions, right? You're going to look people in the eye when you're telling the truth, right? The God's honest truth. Right. So you were right on, girl, but nothing changes in terms of, it's soul agreements, it's learning, it's growth. Your soul is a genius. It did exactly what it needed to do. He was going down that path anyways. You know why? Also, because he can't stop his bullshit. He can't stop his bullshit behavior, which was, the girlfriend, the flirting, the affairs. That's the 5th house of Leo. In a toxic space, that's the tough thing about those Leos. There's all this shady shit in an unwell place behind that, but again, everything in astrology and everything in people is about the vibrational love or God that you are in. So it reflects in everything that you do in your actions. So Leos can be a fantastic, amazing energy, but they can also be a super toxic one. And so your soul knew exactly. You can't pull the wool over your eyes, and good for you. But I do feel like there will be an opportunity in the future under karmic agreements. It may not be next life, but it will be in the next 2 to 3 to 5 lifetimes into the future, that you will have a relationship with him if you both so choose. At any time, your soul can say, fuck that. I'm not doing that again with this man. I had enough of this shit. I don't want to go there. But he could also have done the work that he needs to do on him to heal this space of him where his self-worth and his heart is not in the healthiest space. Because what happens in these spaces is they do these things because they don't love themselves, right, in the healthiest, best way. And this is totally where he's at. You know, they can't even control it. You know, there's such a depth of self-loathe or self not wellness that's so deep that they have to get validation from everybody around them. You know, this relationship, this person has to love me, that I have to be loved and loved and loved and loved and loved. And that's what Leos are, you know, they're about passion. But in a positive, healthy space, it can be a really good thing. And Leos can be a faithful partner, and they can be really good in super amounts of ways. So that said, I'm going to wrap it up. Anything else that she has? So many blessings, girl, and thank you. All right. What time are we at?
8:15.
8:15. Okay. How many more questions do we have right now for everybody? Do you know?
We have a good bit more.
Whole bunch?
Yeah.
Whole bunch? All right.
Yeah.
All right. That said, it's 8:15. We've been doing this for about an hour now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment to talk about some things, because my accomplices here are saying that we have lots and lots of more questions. So I want to talk about some of the important things to share with you guys. All right. Two things that really come in strongly. That the universe is guiding me to share with you. All right. For everybody out there in these times who doesn't have enough groceries or food, or anything that they need in terms of this area in their lives, all right? Wherever you are, you can contact us and let us know, and we will do our best to get you those things, right? Whether it's, you know, food or water, you need help in any way, shape, or form. If you're local to Virginia Beach area, please do call us, come to our shopping center, because we are having donations or accepting donations and have donations, and are already helping people with food and things like that. So I want to share that with you guys. Okay. So to let people know, as well as wherever you are, like my friend from Florida, and we told you guys of his story. We were ready to take a truck down there. But at this time it's on hold based on his stuff and getting information, and hopefully we'll hear back from him. But I want to share that with you so that you guys know, not only do we do this metaphysical, you know, helping of people with our shopping center here in Virginia Beach, and because we are a full service love, energy, healing, and teaching center, but we also do we're donations. So if you need blankets, if you need clothing, if you need food, canned goods, water, drinks, whatever you need, please get in touch with us. We will do our best to help you out, because this is equally as important as everything that we do here metaphysically. This is earth world stuff. So I want to share that with you guys. So if you know anybody and you want to contact us, we will do our best to help you out in any way we can. If you're local, fantastic, call us and you can meet up with us and we'll put together stuff for you. Okay. That said, that's for everybody. Okay. And if it doesn't matter where you are, we're going to do our best to get it to you. Okay. All right. Because guided by higher knowing, right? Okay. What was that?
Road trip.
Jennifer goes, road trip, right? Yeah, no shit, right? We're at whatever universe guides us to from love, right? Okay, the next thing is, I had a person who is one of my people, like all you guys here, and thanks for being our people. Thank you, God, for all of us, because we are the people who are in the heart spaces that are here for the new world changes and to make sure that darkness never takes over, right? All right. Yep, that's it. That's it right there. So thank you. All right. Next thing up is this other thing I want to tell you about is how we help people with this one particular client. Her name is not relevant. I'm not going to say her name, but anyways, what I do want to do is tell you that we also help people in situations where they can't pay the electric bill, or are having trouble with their rent, and car payments and things like that. So this is also why we ask for donations to help other people out as well. For instance, with this moon in these times, right, with this Neptune conjunct Cancer moon, it's about finding our hearts, and it's about giving, it's about being there for one another, it's about unconditional love, right? So if you look this placement up in astrology, and it's in the transit now, all right, so really cool stuff like this is happening across the board, and it is also part of the energy that's pushing us forward to share this with you guys on the show tonight. This said, I had a client who came to me, and she's having a really hard time, hasn't been able to make her car payment in 3 months. So she's on the border of losing her car payment, losing her car. And this is a person who lives with other people and busts her ass, and they share the same car, and she drives everybody to work, and she's trying to work and trying to make ends meet, and it's just wild times. So she's been having a hard time. So what happened is, universe guided to me. She said to me, she said, look, I can't make my car payment. She said, I tried to give my grandmother this ring that I had, and my grandmother said that she would pay me, the money for it, and then I could buy the ring back, right, from her, is what she said to me, for the car payment. And then her grandmother decided that she changed her mind. And this is the shit that we're dealing with in this world. It happens in our families more often than not. The people that we love the most, we have the most traumatic relationships with. They say they're going to help us, and then they don't, and it is what it is. And it's based on people's karmic agreements and toxic bullshit that goes on in their souls. And this is the reality of what we live with. And then you have the darkness over here that infiltrates everybody in their crap, especially if they got inoculated, right? Then that gets out of proportion and manifests this kind of stuff even more. You will see it every day in your lives with the people you're trying to work with that used to be what you thought was in their hearts, and you're like, what the fuck happened to this person? Yeah, crazy shit, right? So without getting too much into that, I want to get back to this person who had this particular ring that she was going to give to her grandmother, or that her grandmother was going to hold for her and give her the money for the car payment, and she did, and the grandmother then reneged on it, right? This is the kind of shit that's happening. So what happened was, she then, went to a pawn shop. The pawn shop wouldn't give her enough money for the ring either. She said to me, the ring's like worth between $600 or $800. And I said to her, I said, you know what? I said, you need the car payment. It's like 4 days behind. I don't want you to lose your car. I said, bring the ring to me. I'll give you the money, and we'll figure it out, And that's what universe guided me to do, from higher knowing, to not because I want the ring. I couldn't give a shit. We have 1 million rings. I have 1 million rings on my fucking fingers, right? I don't need really another ring. This isn't about that. This is about helping her to make the car payment. And the reason I'm sharing this story with you guys is because it's to let you guys know that you can send people to us or share with us that we help people. However, just like that Neptune conjunct moon in the transit, right? We are very giving and we help people, but universe will not allow all of us in these times with this astrological placement to be taken advantage of. So if somebody's full of shit or trying to pull the wool over my eyes, universe will be like, can't do it. Sorry, can't help you. So, but if you are authentic in your heart space and you're really having a hard time and you need help, whether, like it's an electric bill or a car payment or whatever it is, right? We will do our best to help you. And that's why I'm telling you this story. Guided by higher knowing is why I did this. Like I said, I have 1 billion rings, or I have multiple rings. I love rings. There's no question about it. But universe guided me to do this from higher knowing. And this is part of how we are to help people. It's not in your traditional earth world ways, but I don't give a fuck about what they do in earth world. It's about helping people. What? From love, right? Yeah. But always being guided by love, higher knowing. Okay, so I want to share that with you guys tonight. So if you know anybody who needs help, and every avenue they look to get help down, it doesn't seem to pan out for them, this is some of the ways that universe has guided me to share with you that we can help you, okay, through different avenues. So I wanted to share that tonight with everybody here. And if you know people, then by all means PM us, let us know. You can remain anonymous. We're not about having to say somebody's name and all that other stuff. That would have, reveal your identity, especially in these times, because there's so much identity shaming and all this other garbage where, look, a perfect example is what they're doing to Donald Trump and what they have done to Donald Trump, and it's not just Donald Trump, it's anybody who, or many people who speak up against what's going on out here. The God's honest truth is that, so I don't want that for any of you guys, and nor do we want it for ourselves, but that's why we work with God and love, so we super protect ourselves with love. And anything that we need to deal with that comes to our table, we'll talk to love about it and we'll take care of it. And that's for all of us, those gifts. Okay, that said, I just wanted to share with you some things that have come up with astrology transit, how we're helping people in these times with food, blankets, and including for the holiday times, we're working on getting ornament donations as well as, gifts for children, but we do this all through our own shopping center. We're not affiliated with anybody else because this is what I choose to work with, the highest form of love, and that's what guides us to do it. All right, so I just want to share that with you so you guys know that so you guys know this, not just for yourselves, but anybody else in your life that you can share this with, as well as share our program, and share what we do. Please. The more we change the world from love, the better. That said, those are some of the things I wanted to talk about. There is also some more wisdom from me going to the doctors, the dentist with my daughter. My one daughter, we went to the dentist. She's having some issues. She hasn't been to the dentist in a while with COVID and trusting the doctors and trusting all these things. There is a big deficit in being able to trust the modern medical fields, being especially dentists, doctors, all of that, because everything has changed so toxically so much in such a short amount of time. But it has always been in a deficit. We've talked about this on the medical intuitive shows that I've done, and we talk about this on and off all the time, here and there, throughout our shows, okay? That said, I took my daughter to the dentist, and I'm sitting in the dentist chair, and this is really, I'm not going to get into a really long story about this, but I do want to share this with you now because it's super important. We're sitting in there with the dentist, and they have all these high-end technologies, incredible, magical stuff, right? And tech can be so awesome, so incredibly awesome. There are brilliant minds out there, but those minds are channeled from here. That's where all the ideas and designs come from. Everything comes from here. Love, right? So that said, the heart too must be in the right place from love, and technology can be an amazing thing. So they have all these really cool tech things, right, to help you with your teeth, and all these neat different methods of things, right, going on. But as I'm sitting there in this office, and it's a pretty affluent dental office, it's almost like what my old OBGYN used to call the office downstairs from us. That was a dermatology office. He used to be like, oh, Neiman Marcus, he used to call it, because it was like all glitz and glamour and all this really neat stuff, right? But you have to say to yourself, what is the purpose of that? Yeah. So that said, let me bring you back to the main reason I'm telling you this. And this is because I sat there in the office, I'm listening to the doctor, there's all these different things she's telling us. And as she's speaking in conversation, answering all my questions about my daughter's tooth and teeth and what's going on there, her language is changing and morphing. 1 minute I can feel her energy shift from, telling me that she hasn't had enough dental care. And then I said, well, she's had $30,000 worth of dental care. So, and then she's like, but then sometimes, you can have all this work, work done on your mouth, and it can actually mess up your mouth. Right? So the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I'm asking all these questions, right? And 1 minute she's saying this, and I can feel her energy, and then it shifts to what she thinks, she needs to say to get me to buy into what she needs me to buy into. And this is the unfortunate thing about the medical field now, what we're looking at. What's the God's honest truth? Do you really want to fucking help people from your heart? Or what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to shame people? Or how are you trying to speak to them to get them to do what you want them to do via a root canal, or a cavity, or is there really an infection, or blame, game, shame, communication garbage is what's going on here. Soon as she starts to tell me about how my daughter has an overbite, and and I can feel her and sense her, and I knew she was going to say, did she really have the dental care and the braces? Did she ever have braces? And I'm like, she had 2 sets of braces. She had oral surgery when she was 4. She had a tooth that was coming out here. I said, she's had $30,000 worth of fucking dental work, and I cut her off at the pass, because here in one moment the energy is saying that she hasn't had any dental work, and this is why she might need a root canal now, or she had too much dental work, and this is why this is happening. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm sitting in this chair, and I'm feeling out the energy, and know this is also why we have the show. I'm a master communicator, right? I talk to God all the time. I have to be, if you guys are going to fucking understand me, right? I have to be able to talk to people and get to the answers. So I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to this doctor, and this is a master doctor at what she does. There's no question about it, right? She's really great at what she does. And I'm sitting there talking, and she says to me, she goes, you're asking really good questions. She goes, you're a great communicator. And I said, well, that's the problem in the world is that people don't know how to communicate, right? But all of this conversation that I'm having with her is designed to get me to do, right, the dental work that she wants me to do. But really, what really needs to happen here is what's the God's honest truth of what should be done here for my kid, right? My kid is fucking 20 years old, right? Really, a root canal is almost virtually unheard of in the, for a 20-year-old. You have to say to yourself, what the fuck, right? So I'm sitting there assessing the whole situation, talking to God the whole time. And then I realized, because I'm picking up on the energy floating around the dental office, right? Because this is what I do, man. I do energy, right? I do love, right? And I want to get to the God's honest truth about what's going on here. What's the best solutions for my daughter for this dentist visit? What's going on with the doctor? What's really going on here, God? And what is the best route for us to go down here with the best dental care and the best solutions and the best decisions to be made for my daughter and her best dental health? And as I'm sitting in the chair and the doctor's talking and they're doing all, and then they bring in these big techno shit where they can view the whole entire mouth, and you can get behind her teeth, underneath her teeth, inside her teeth, all ways, and all on this video screen. Fascinating shit, right? And so it's just incredible stuff. But what it comes down to is their intent. Who gives a fuck about all this incredible technology if their heart isn't in the right place to do the right thing for your best health? Be it your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your body, your whole entire being. If they can't do from their hearts and the best thing for you, and everything's a bunch of bullshit, look at what we have going on here, people. Truly, it's a mess. It's a mess. And again, I'm sitting in that chair in the office and I feel the energy float by, and I'm getting that they actually have meetings in there. And this is for all you guys to know, because you're all going to be going to the doctor at some point in your life, or have, right? And what has happened is this has become a business, a mad business, a mad money-making business. Well, why should I just fill a cavity if I can get you to buy a root canal, and I can tell you that you have an infection, and I can tell you that 5 other teeth might be involved in that, and in 5 minutes you're going to have to lose all your mouth, and then you'll need thousands of dollars worth of implants, right? And all this other shit, right? So, I mean, there's so many fine lines in between here, and I'm sharing this with you so you guys can get to the God's honest truth when you go to the dentist. Because as I'm sitting there again, what's floating around in that office is the fact that they have meetings of how to upsell you with all their products and all their shit so that you spend the most maximum amount of money on your mouth, on your health care, so that they make a ton of money. What the fuck? Do you see what I'm saying? They got no business being in the healthcare field if they're thinking like this, if they're having fucking meetings, right? Where have they lost their code of ethics? Meetings to make money on your fucking mouth health, on your well-being? And I'm picking up on this energy floating all around, and everything comes together with what's literally happening between my conversation with the dentist, right there with the technology, and how smooth everybody talks to me because they're conditioned, they're schooled, they're meetingized. That's another Lynn word, right? Meetingized, right? Right? You should like that, right? So you get my point here. When did this stop being about the well-being of what is best for my patient? What is best, not for my patient, for this person? Where did we remove ourselves within the technology from being human and doing the right thing for them? And it became a fucking massive shithole dollar sign of unwellness. Where did our code of ethics go? Our morals, our integrity, our honor, our respect, our heart, our empathy, our compassion. Where did all this go, right? So, needless to say, I wanted to share this with you so you guys, when you go to the dentist, you're super well aware of what, and the doctors too, because this isn't just happening here. This is happening not just in the dental field. This is happening across the board in all that is medicine. We've talked about other deficits on the medical intuitive shows that we've had in the past, but we've also talked about it here, like I said, and this is super important for you guys to know, because how do you figure out what the truth is? You ask God for it. What's the God's honest truth? What does my kid really need? What is the truth are the best situation solutions for her. And of course, the universe sits down, talks to me, tells me everything. All right. And I need to clear the fog sometimes as I'm figuring it out and as I assess it with the universe. Okay, God, what's the God's honest truth here? How do I do this? What do I need? How do I help my daughter in the best way? And just like my daughter's 20 years old, she wanted me to come there to be her advocate. And I suggest that all of you have somebody who's an adult, who knows their shit, who's solid in earth world, that, in other words, a solid human being that you can bring with, who's going to be your best advocate from love for you. Whether you have an emergency trip to the hospital so that you don't get anything that you're not supposed to get or that isn't the best, healthiest thing for you, including inoculations and all that other kind of shit that they might recommend you to do. You want to be in your heart. You want to trust the universe. You want to talk to God all the time and have an earth world advocate for you in emergencies. And with this dental stuff, my 20-year-old was wise enough, super connected to God, love, universe, so that she can make the best decisions for her in these times. And she asked me to come with her. And I said, Madeline, I said, it doesn't matter what you do. I said, but you must follow your heart. In other words, you don't have to do what God is telling me to do for you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you all the different avenues and ways to handle this that come in as the best avenues and ways to handle this, being second opinions, what the truth is about what's really going on, because I get all my answers from here. Highest knowing of love, because we work with that all the time, which is why, of course, she's wise enough to know after 20 fucking years of living with me what she needs to do. I must have done something right. Thank you, God, right? So she appreciates and values my wisdom, right? But what she must do, though, is just like I tell all you guys on this show, must follow her heart. Her heart. I said, let your heart guide you. I'm going to tell you what the best things to do are, what universe is telling me. But you must make these decisions for you, because this is about you, your mouth, your teeth, your life, and your best health. And you must make these decisions. I will tell you the God's honest truth the whole time. I said, anything I can do, though, you can do. Right? So I want to share that with you guys because you really need to know what the hell is going on in these times. You know, everything from the corrupt and super unwell medical field to everything else that we talk about, be it government, people and businesses in our everyday lives. I'm seeing massive deficits going on here with the darkness as well as the inoculations, because what's happening is it eats away at people's heart spaces and disconnects them on a massive metaphysical soul level, as well as it destroys their immune system, and then everything that comes out here becomes the sickness itself. And then they don't force you to do anything, or they try to manipulate you and or force you, as sometimes people have told me. But really, the truth is, nobody forces anybody to do anything. You make the best choices for you, governing from your heart. But the truth is, you should always follow your heart. In other words, in terms of when you feel that something isn't right, and then you don't fucking do it. You reevaluate with God what the best solutions are for you. And if that means 5 second opinions, then that's what you do. If that means 1 second opinion, if that means a holistic dentist, if that means you take antibiotics, then you take antibiotics. If that means you do holistic methods, you do holistic methods. But by working with God and love, you will always have the best route, and you will always know what the truth is. You ask for it, not just the truth, the God's honest truth, because then you will know. Anything I want to know about that dentist's office, I just ask God, what's the truth here? Not my truth. Not their truth, the God's honest truth. What's really going on here? Can you imagine that? Meetings, how I can make more money off of you. Yuck, yuck. How about you would make so much more money, and this is what the deficit is here. You would make so much more money if you were just in your heart and did the right thing from love for the people, and that's what the whole world is missing. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that, right? For them and for all of us. Okay, that said, that's what I really wanted to cover too. Those bunch of 3 things, I think that was. What time we got? I don't know how much time we have left.
8:37.
Okay, we still have about 20 minutes for more questions, and I think I talked about this. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover today, other than our readings. There's always more shit, you can imagine. Shit meaning stuff to talk about, right? Okay, so we're going to go back to our questions now, and if you guys have any questions about all of this, or you have an experience where you know what I'm talking about now, do share it. Do share it so that other people don't just think that, who come on here also, don't just think that this girl is nuts and she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. The more you can share, your experiences too, that shows the world that what is happening is truth of love, right? Through the experiences we're all having in the collective, in our personal lives, and what's going on out here, okay? So people know the God's honest truth. And it's just like we always say, what happens in Earth World tells you the truth of everything, the God's honest truth, hands down. Okay, so let's get back to our questions. Thanks, guys, for listening to that great wisdom, and thanks, God. Thanks, God. Okay, who's next?
Nicole Opper.
Nikki.
She has 2 questions. She says we can pick one, whatever you prefer. I got a pedicure this past weekend, and I had an ingrown toenail pulled out. The toe is now inflamed, swelled on the left side, and it hurts. What can she do?
All right. Inflamed. All right. One of my favorite things that a lot of people don't talk about is hydrogen peroxide.
Oh my God, I thought the same shit.
Yep. It's an old world. It's an old world remedy, right? When I said that, when I went to the nurse's office at school, I'd be like, "What? You guys don't use hydrogen peroxide?" And they're like, "Oh no, we can't do that." I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" Hydrogen peroxide is a great tool in these times to get rid of infection, right? There's a whole bunch of things that you can do as well, but it's a great tool to really bang out the infection, right? So you do a soak with it. You take some cotton balls and you put it on there, right? And again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm sharing universal wisdom with you, and you choose whether you do it or not for your own best health and well-being. So that comes in 2 to 3 times a day. It won't be more than 2 or 3 days, and the infection will totally clear up. There are other things that you can do. I mean, healing isn't everything, and there's multiple ways to heal everything. But that's one of my go-tos all the time for us. When my kid has a boil, a lot of times we just make sure that we have hydrogen peroxide. Same thing with the pets when they get ticks and stuff. It's a fantastic tool to get the toxic out of there. And I'm sure many of you old school people already know this, right? Okay, so there you go, Nikki. Again, you make the best decision for you with this. If you want to do it, by all means, follow your heart. Okay, girl? All right. So what's her other question?
First, she says she loves hydrogen peroxide. She has several bottles.
Oh, yeah. And it's wise to have in these times, right? Because you can really nip an infection in the bud, right? I can't tell you how many nasty fucking infections I have had in my life, and my kids have had. Being a mom, growing up, your kids, all kinds of crazy shit happens, and you're like, what is that? Hydrogen peroxide finds out what it is and takes care of it, right? So it's really been a go-to tool. Those of you who don't know about it, do read up on it, find out about it, and always ask love, ask God, is this the best solution for me? If this is what I should do. And you too, Nikki, you too. All right, girl. Okay. What else?
So she says there are Amtrak boycotts trying to happen in her area. She says if this happens, the MARC train might not come. What are the chances of the boycotts taking hold, and if so, will she actually be affected?
What is the boycott about? So I just want to know what it's about, as that's coming in from universe for me to ask.
Is she talking about the rail cars?
Oh, and here comes Molly in the background. What is it you say, Molly?
I don't know if she's talking about the rail cars going on strike.
I know that she commutes to DC.
Oh, okay.
So that's what she's talking about. So how this will affect her commute. Okay. Okay, so you're talking about shipping.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Thank you though. Thanks for trying to help too. Okay. Let's see. I don't feel like it's going to affect you. I feel like if it comes to fruition, it will be for a short time, and your heart, your soul will guide you because you'll pray on it. You'll ask God for what you need, or you'll ask the universe for whatever it is, the tools and gifts that you need from love during this time. I also feel like if you talk to your employer, this is what also comes in for you. Your employer may let you somehow work from home with this, or work out something with this, which would be really cool. So I do feel that, because they're not stupid. They don't not know what's going on. If everybody in the office doesn't show up because they take the fucking train, they've got to know about these things, So I do feel feel like there will be solutions for you for this. So I don't think you should stress about it. Ask God to be free of that. I feel like, you're good to go regardless of what happens. And who knows, you may even get a few days off from work. You never know. Right? And let's just ask the universe for whatever is best from love with all this. And thank you, God, for that for us. All right. In the purest form of love, in this reality, any reality and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay. So who's next?
Molly, right?
Yeah, we thought we'd go to Molly.
Live audience. Molly. Molly, what's going on?
Oh, I just wanted, well, actually, I'm kind of interested now. I feel like that spiked my curiosity. I was just going to have a clearing prayer for like 3 things, but I kind of want to know what's going to go on with the rail cars and them going on strike on Friday, the workers.
Oh, so there's another whole strike with the rail cars that's going on and that you know about because that's in the industry that you're in.
Yeah.
Well, Nikki did actually comment that she said the rail cars are part of what she's talking about. But she believes that the employees are demanding higher wages.
Yes.
Okay, so there's like a whole combination of rail car shitstorm here. Yeah. So they for sure got to know about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the rail cars I'm talking about are rail cars, but you put containers, like the shipping containers, you put them on top. So that's the rail cars I'm talking about.
Okay, and you want to ask me about what? Because what are they saying there? Like, what is the dilemma?
Well, on Friday they said the rail cars are going to go on strike for so the people make higher wages or better salaries. Is part of it, and that's really what they're saying so far. So.
I feel like it's going to go back and forth for a while. It could be up to 2 to 3 months. And I feel like each time they really want to keep it moving. So they bring it down to the 10th hour and then, or the 12th hour and then they work out something and then they go back, they keep going and then they come to that crossroads again and they keep going. So I feel like that is going to go on for a little while here.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I do feel like that. It doesn't feel like a long-term shutdown, like a 2 to 3 month shutdown. That's like a permanent thing. I feel like they're going to try to keep everything operating. I do feel that. Okay, that's for now. And the Amtrak thing is different. And they may do the same thing, a variation of this, but I do feel like they may give him something, Nikki, for the Amtrak workers, just something to appease this for, just like they're going to do with the rail cars, just in a different way to keep things going. But it's not going to be in the same way as this. I feel like it'll be eliminated pretty quick, but you may get a few days off, which would be cool, or a few days to work from home. So create it. Create what you want. That is best too. That's another option for you, So that's what comes in. Okay. What else we got?
Well, did you want some clearings?
Oh, yeah. I guess I'll just read my 3 words of clearing.
Oh, sure. Thanks. I totally got in the zone and Jen was like, did you want some clearings? All right. Go ahead, Molly. Thanks.
Clear any self-deprecation I've been having recently, which is really strange for me. Anything where I don't believe in myself. And I forgot the 3rd one. Oh, praying specifically. Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Okay.
That would be lovely.
That's all.
All right. So I'm going to do a blanket prayer on all this. Molly asked for a whole bunch of stuff. I hope all you guys heard. Thanks God for everybody having heard. What she called a self-deprecation prayer, to be free of that. Free of, what was the other 2 things, Molly?
Not praying specific.
Not praying on things specifically. What else?
And it already went away. I'd already cleared.
That's funny.
Not believing in yourself.
Yep.
Not believing in you.
Thanks, Rachel.
Right. Yeah, and it's so funny because I remember the other day when I said to you that it would behoove you to be more specific, right? And I could feel your energy be like,
it's right.
yeah, be like, fuck you. And I was like, okay, there's work to do. Yeah, I totally remember that. Okay. All right. Thanks God for grabbing all this energy now, please, and connecting to it emotionally, and for us feeling it, healing it, clearing it, releasing it, and being free of it now, please, from love in the purest form, for Molly and all of us who so desire this in our souls. And thank you for these gifts in our souls, and all we are, be, say, do, and create, and in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for these gifts in our souls, and in all we are, be, say, do, and create in the best way for us, and all or something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. All right, Molly.
Thank you.
Great job. Great job. Some healing, clearing energy work for all of us. Okay. So, all right. So where are we at time-wise? How many more questions we got?
We have a few more questions, and it's 8:47.
Okay. We're at 8:47. Shall we hold those questions for next week?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up for tonight, guys. If you can donate, please do. If everybody donates $1, it helps us keep going and keep doing all the cool things that we're doing here. But whatever you can give, we're super grateful for it. And you find in your heart and ask in your heart what is best from love. Okay. And I just want to say thank you. And thank you to everybody who donates, everybody who comes on, everybody who shares our stuff. Jake Walker, I saw you shared it, shared our program's ad. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's part of it, who shares anything and everything about us from love. All right, so I want to say that we'll see you next Wednesday, 7:15 for our next live talk forum with us. And thank you.